So we've got Warrior
reviews.
Nun.
Yes. So I was watching Warrior Nun, and you know, just
sounds like Buffy.
Yeah. I mean, so okay. Basically, a lot of TV shows, like, you know, we know the premise of stories. So I'm trying to be patient with it, because you know when there's the sections. There's the girl gets the power, the girl rejects the power, the girl's has been given to have the power and do good or live her life, and then she gets tested. So I'm just watching it like.
I'm sorry, was this Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
There's more or less. It's more or less called Ava. She is a paraplegic, and she's grown up in a nunnery, and these nuns have been treating her bad and whatever. And then she dies, and the opening scene is her waking up dead, and then nuns with kick-ass weapons start fighting some people. Well, they bring in another nun who's dying, and then a nun rips an angel's halo. Okay. One person is chosen to have ultimate power, and it's in the form of a halo, and the halo is placed in your back. So this nun takes it out of her back because she's dying and she's got shrapnel in her, and then as the girl gets resurrected, she can walk, she goes off. And then from there she's living her life. She finds these crooks who have been like taking over houses, and then
she's living her best life.
She's living her best life. But yeah.
Sorry, each.
Them.
Sorry, yeah, it keeps cutting out.
Go ahead.
Really hear you that great. What I'm gonna do? No, I'm gonna.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Pause for a sec, and then reconnect, and then we can start again if that's all right. Yeah. So
okay.
We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Cool beat.
We were here the whole time. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Me and Choco Cat were just telling you about Warrior Nun. So basically, it's like Buffy, but less interesting. Here's why. Because it's just basically more character. It's basically the church who are obviously fighting demons and all that stuff, and they've got a collective of women who are nuns who fight evil. And then there's the chosen one who gets the halo of an angel inserted into their back, and then gets superhuman strength, like, being able to walk through walls and not feeling pain and blasting halo juice out of their back, whatever. And then there's a tech company who are trying to use old school relics from the Catholic Church that they find to create portals. And you know where that's going. Because, mad scientist creates a portal, doesn't know what to do with the portal, and guess what? Things are going to start coming out the portal. I'm only on episode 3, but I can kind of see what's going on. But I'm watching it just to see if they do something else. The very annoying thing about this show is that there's another character that's 10 times interesting than the whole show. But we can't focus on her too much, because we've got to worry about the dead girl who is now resurrected, who was a paraplegic, who is now just going off and living her best life. Yeah, trying to kiss up and fuck certain people because now she can walk, eat, and, do cool invisibility, whatever stuff. So yeah, we've got to, go through that whole process.
I feel like watching that just to take the piss out of it,
Yeah, I feel like you should. I feel like everybody should just, I'm only watching Warrior Nun because Old Guard isn't out yet. Okay. Literally. Okay. But no, I mean, if you want to watch something lightly entertaining, watch it. It's, it's fun. It's got loads of women in it. A couple Catholic men, and, all the women are in like prestigious places. Like there's a female scientist, and she's a mad scientist, and then there's
women can't be scientists.
I know, it's maddening.
What kind of craziness is that?
And then you've got these nuns, exactly. And then you've got nuns who've got shotguns and doing kung fu and all that stuff. So it's put your kids, let the kids watch it. Yeah, there's some things in there. There's lovely scenery. I think they're in Spain. Scenery's phenomenal. Yeah. The scenery in there, and me, I'm not one for
When
architecture.
you got
I'm like,
nothing to say about a show, the scenery is lovely.
the scenery is lovely, seriously. But yeah, I mean, I'm only on episode 3 because I didn't want to watch it, and but it's entertaining in ishy kind of. But yeah, it's Warrior Nun. Woo! There's a black girl in there, and she hasn't died yet. Woo! I'm for it. I'm for it.
Give it
Give it
time.
time.
Yeah. Yes, yeah, and the interesting character is the black girl because she isn't effing around with everybody else. She's off doing her own missions, killing people. There's a 16. I will spoil it. I don't care. Like she's interrogating some guy that she put on a cliff. Yeah, and she was like, you know, her friend who was the nun, like in the beginning of like the first episode, who got killed. She was like, oh, I need to find out who killed her. Da, da, da. And then he like obviously tells her that she was the mark, and she's like, oh, okay, cool. And she throws him. No, he was like, oh, you're not gonna kill me. You're a nun, innit? And then she was like, cool. She throws him his gun and turns. And obviously he's an idiot and he scrambles to get it. And she turns around with her shotgun and she shoots him off the fucking cliff. And I was like, see, this is what I want to watch. Yeah, this stuff. And then she walks off. I was like, badass. But you know what? She reminded me of Watchman woman.
Watchmen.
What was her name?
Regina.
Oh.
Yes. What was her character called?
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I can't remember. Nun, wasn't it?
She was a nun though. Was she a nun?
Yeah, character called the Nun.
No,
it wasn't.
Why
she
are
wasn't
you
a
thinking
nun,
of Misty Night? It's not that. What was it?
Wait,
Yeah,
Richie's gonna find it. He's like, I cannot sleep with knowing. Google. I can't remember what her name was. It was some kick-ass name, but basically she looks like her, but young. So
Angela Abar,
really
Sister Knight. Yeah.
Sister Knight. So she was a
yeah.
nun. There we go. So yeah, I think that's where they got her the inspiration for this black girl. And the black girl's character's like is called Mary. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, but it's cool.
Right, so I
It's
will
alright.
be missing
Yeah.
that one then.
Like-
Yeah.
I will be back next week to review
Yes.
the old God. Carry on. Let's go. Who's the next? Who's next?
Justice League? Young Justice, sorry.
Young chicken justice. So I'm literally gonna go right into the meat of this comic book to where it gets good, because it kind of So I know you guys aren't really DC Comics heavy, but back in the day, Young Justice was like one of my favorite comic books to read.
Mm-hmm.
But then when the New 52 happened, like they were scattered. Some characters weren't even there anymore.
Oh man.
And then when Rebirth happened, in certain comic books, characters started to get like flashes of like past lives and stuff, and how things used to be. Tim Drake I suppose he was in Detective Comics, in flashes. I think he went to see Zatanna, or whoever it was, and they told him, "Oh, this is like something that used to be." I can't remember how they explained it. So, and somebody who was missing from all that was two people that were missing from that was Bart Allen, Impulse. Is his name Bart Allen? Yeah, Barry Allen II. And Superboy. So it gets to a point where Bart they start talking, and Bart is basically explaining what he thinks has happened, and he said he thought it was the Speed Force. So he went around to all the Flashes. Now I haven't seen him go in a comic where he goes to speak to the Flashes yet. I haven't even seen him interact with Barry Allen yet, or Wally West. But he says he went to go see all the Flashes to find out if it was Speed Force related, and it wasn't. So then he did more research. I'm going to read you this bit because it was dope. Because listen to it, because it was very clever how they wrote this as well. So it says, so things happen to the whole multiverse. We've most of us seen some of it with our own eyes. I'm talking about stuff we have actively tried to stop from happening. Stuff we defend the universe from. Chaos. But things have happened that have completely changed the world, the universe, the everything. It feels like there were times where it was crazy. Or maybe it's also above our heads, we can't even say. But according to everything I've discovered, I should have just started from here. According to everything I've discovered, there have been time shifts, reality bends, reboots. They actually did the comic
Actually
reboots.
said that.
Lol.
And they actually said, yeah, you heard me. All the crazy creatures and power sources and cosmic nonsense in and out of the world. It's amazing it hasn't happened every other weekend. But there have been changes. Things have happened to us and around us and under us. And the normals don't even realize it's happening.
Yep.
Normals wake up and have no idea. But for people like us to actually face it, people like us sometimes fly around or run through it. A crisis is a moment of true change in the universe. And then that's when he starts talking about Connor Kent. He says, and Connor, this is coming. And he was basically saying regarding Connor Kent, because he was zapped out of the universe for whatever reason. We know the reason, but that's a different story. Basically, someone from Star Labs basically just threw him into an alternate reality, into Gemworld. And while he was in Gemworld, the DC universe just changed without him. And because it changed without him, it forgot about him. And then it was just, it kind of just blew my mind. It was such a like, I love that they acknowledged that, because when I first started getting into comic books, in the beginning, I was like more Marvel Comics. But then I started getting into DC because I just realized I always loved that there was kind of like more child and teen heroes, and they had the legacy characters and all of that. And I remember I would be on Wikipedia or any kind of website, because DC Comics is confusing. There's so many reboots. There are many reboots. So
You've seen the Batman films,
yeah. So I used to sit and read. My brother used to do this as well. Just sit and read stuff on Wikipedia for hours about these characters. That's how I learned about because I haven't read the knowledge that I haven't read it all. I just know it. And but what I like about these issues that they acknowledge it. They acknowledge it that there's been so many changes, and now it's like since Rebirth, they've been trying to kind of put things back to the way it was. And so that's basically it. They're now together, and Connor Kent at first is like, so the universe went on without me. And he's like, I was ripped from the universe, and everyone forgot about me. I'm the clone of Superman and Lex Luthor. Maybe I should just be like, and then he kind of plays it off, and then he goes to the woman who threw him into the alternate reality. Scientist is like, maybe I should just kill you now. But then he's like, but then I've got these friends who, through all of that, never forgot me and came looking for me. So that kind of just dealt with it. It was a really touching issue. And then they all decide, like, everyone's there. I'm gonna do a real roll call. Because I love it. They got everybody. They've got the original Young Justice, and they've got new ones. So they've got. Oh, it actually starts off at the beginning on page 1. It says roll call. Teen Lantern, Impulse, Aqualad from Young Justice the cartoon, Ginny Hex, who's Jonah Hex's great-granddaughter, Superboy, Dial H for Hero, Wonder Girl, Amethyst, Arrowette, who was dope back in the day in Young Justice, Spoiler, Tim Drake, Naomi, Sideways, and the Wonder Twins. And by the end of it, when people come together, Superboy calms down. The woman gets arrested. The Star Labs woman gets arrested. And by the way, spoilers. And what was I gonna say? She gets arrested, and then they were just talking like, okay, well, what are we gonna do now? And then they basically decide to call themselves. How about we just be Young Justice again? And they're like,
no, go on, carry on.
Go on. Then they're like, well, all of us, there's too many of us. It's like, no, there aren't too many of us. Like, if we need somebody, let's just call whoever's available. We'll just make whoever to show up. Of us needs help, and then one of them's like, or even if you just need a hug.
Free hugs. Cute.
And then they got this. They started. Looks like they're blossoming a relationship between Naomi and Impulse, Bart Allen. They all join, and then they said, and then it's like, we'll be Young Justice, and then one of them says, or the Young Justice League, because they were never actually Young Justice League until this issue. So that was dope. So then they all separate. Ugh, there's an advert for Gotham High here. Nope. No, DC.
No. Hell
and this is my favorite part, because two of the characters in Young Justice that I really want to know about where they were and what's going on was Impulse, Bart Allen, and Superboy Connor Kent. So then when they're about they've all gone, Impulse is about to run home, and Superboy's like, "Yeah, that story you told me had some holes in it. What happened to you?" And then it ends.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because he was ripped from the universe as well. Like, where was he? Do you know what I mean? Wally West was ripped from the universe. We know what happened to Wally West in the end. Because if you read The Button, Rich, which you did.
Yeah,
Not The Button. Is it Button?
Or...
Yeah. And it was one of those comics.
So...
And the next one is going to be like the emancipation of Bartholomew Allen. And it's like, I'm really looking forward to issue 16 because it's like back to back, we got what happened to Superboy, and now we're going to get what happened to Impulse. And this was just a really, really good read. So good.
Doing a great job then. Brian Michael Bendis is doing a great job.
He is. I have to give him props. And it doesn't feel like he's doing his traditional, I'm just going to write what the hell I want. And it won't make sense. He's just focusing on these guys' story, and it's working. He's doing a really, really good job. I mean, he did a dope job with Naomi. I actually now want to read Down H for Hero, because when they were first featured in a couple issues ago, I think I told you guys I might have done a review on it. I didn't realize that when he dial, they get superpowers from everywhere. So like in one of the Young Justice comics, you see one of them and they're blatantly Spider-Man. They're blatantly Spider-Man. I'm like, that is sick. So I kind of want to read the comic. I might get the graphic novel because that's the best way to do it at this point in time.
Let's call him
just
the
to
web.
see what kind of power they play around with. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
Because one of them, actually, so I was looking at one page. Where was it? And I swear that, oh no, he looks more like Superman and Harley Quinn. Never mind. I just thought I saw an issue where they looked like somebody familiar from like a different comic book, but it was Superman and Harley Quinn. But yeah, I really want to read Dial H for Hero now just to see what they do with like those two characters and what powers they play around with. You might get a Cyclops or a Hulk in there or something. Young Justice issue 15, Superboy's Truth Revealed, was a really, really good read. Artwork was sick as usual.
Nice. How many geeks?
Go get it.
Boom.
Out of 5, I'm gonna give that a full 5. It had no flaws. It didn't leave me. The artwork is good. The writing was good. And it was a plausible reason as to what happened to Superboy and the universe around. And I love that they acknowledge that they reboot too much.
They kind of broke the fourth.
I love that they acknowledge that. So
that's the
they did, but not in a cheesy way.
Yeah.
Not in a cheesy way. It was
that's
like
the first time Q was given a 5.
Wow. How many would you give Warrior London? 2.
2. 2. I'm still on episode 3/4.
Yeah.
It might get better. You never know.
You should give it a free month for each episode you've watched.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be any worse than October Fraction, which was so bad. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, the production on this is good. I'll give it a 2.5. So yeah.
So my
No
review,
rush.
I'll do
Go
a
ahead.
quick review, is of...
You can't do a quick review on this.
Because it's one of those things
go
that
ahead.
you got to watch it again. My missus would be very happy to hear me say that. But yeah, this quick review is on Hamilton.
Hey.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, see it.
Exactly.
That's all I have to say.
If you haven't seen it, see it. Because
theatre production on Disney Plus.
It would have been much better, obviously, live. But obviously, it's on Disney Plus, and with all this going on, and it being an American thing, and you probably not being able to get a ticket anyway. It was actually amazing. The music, the production, the stage performance, the performances of the characters. I didn't even realize like one of the characters actually changed to a different character, because it was actually pretty dope sequence of change. It is pretty much amazing. It is pretty much as good as people always said it was. It gives you a good history lesson. A lot of it is actually true from what we hear, and it actually shines a light on Hamilton, obviously by the name of it. But from what I heard, Hamilton was one of the forefathers who you don't really hear about much, and you don't really know much about him.
Yeah.
And fun fact, he was half black as well, I think.
Yep. Yeah. You can't be born in Jamaica and not be during that time. And
Who's Hamilton?
okay, so go, Rich. Explain.
So
Explain.
it's based on basically the Tea Party when Britain had their soldiers in America, and America was trying to separate from the British rule. So basically,
What we were saying.
Yeah,
the colonizers.
Yes, colonizers.
Yeah.
So basically, they was trying to obviously have the war with the British. You got this guy playing a British prince who does a solo that is actually it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
right?
he's funny.
He's so funny.
You want to strangle him, but he's really good. Go ahead.
Yeah. And he does that. Is it Viola Davis? What was that film she was acting in? And then she was crying and like bogey was coming out of her nose and.
Oh yeah, he was just doing the quintessential thing. Like I think most musical theatre people do that. It's like because you're obviously talking and singing and moving around, you just end up creating more saliva.
Yeah.
So he's just when he's talking, there's spitting. They say it's good to spit as an actor when you're doing lines because that means you're actually projecting your words, enunciating your
words. But no, that was dope. And it's just about him, kind of his life growing up and the way he was. And then you got I forgot his first name, but Bar. They kind of went to the same college or uni or something.
University, yeah.
And
King's College University, actually.
Oh, was it? Yeah, yep. King's College. That's it. And
I was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was saying basically when he first met him, he was like, "Oh, you talk too much. You're too loud, and you shouldn't like be so advert." But by the end of it, it's kind of like that's the reason why he's where he is. Like this guy would write, I think, what was it? Like there was 58 essays or something like that. I've probably got my numbers wrong, but there was. What was that?
They're the wife chiming in like it was 85.
So, there was 85 essays, and Hamilton wrote 51 of them. There was another guy who wrote 2 and felt sick, and another guy who wrote 5. So this guy was kind of like he was on it. That's all he did. And even there was this funny thing about his wife, or he met his wife and he met his wife's sister, and there was a funny thing going on between that.
That's how you know he's a Jamaican man, because una can't have just one woman. Now he had to have 3. Okay, yeah, 3.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
So it was pretty dope, man. It is really good.
It was.
Really good. So
it was.
Definitely recommend it.
And anybody who's watched Altered Carbon, the woman who plays Falconer, she plays. Yeah, she plays.
Yes. The woman who played his wife's sister, right? She was in Altered Carbon. Yeah. She knew already. She just didn't tell me. I was like, I guess I'll give before.
Yeah, and the guy who played one of his generals and who played the son.
Yeah.
He was in the new remake of She's Gotta Have It.
Seen that.
And he was in something else.
He's been in something I've seen. I've seen his face before.
But he was.
Lafayette.
Yeah. He was really good. But yes.
Yeah, it is dope, man. It is really good. I was trying to watch. I was watching it. Danielle, like, she wanted me, like, be in the moment, and but I like to watch.
Just start clicking along the screen.
But when I'm enjoying something, I'm concentrating and I'm just like zoned in.
Yes.
Yeah. But the music's catchy as well. I was singing along to some of it earlier today.
Yeah.
Definitely 5 out of 5.
One of us.
How
It's 2 hours and 50 or something like that. 2 hours 30. But it's got there's an intermission though. There's an intermission in between. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like you'll watch it, you get to the intermission, and you just want to keep watching it anyway. It is actually that good, really that good.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'll give this Hamilton a look. See.
Definitely.
Go,
Is
give
one
it
of
a
those you
look-see.
definitely have to. I think it's one of those things in time where you always go back. Like, remember back in the 2000s, everybody was going on about Hamilton, and so I think it's one of those. It would definitely stick around, man.
Yeah. And Kieran, you appreciate good bars and good lyrics and good rap. You like this.
You would end up listening to it and you'll be like, where's this from? Where's this from? They got a rendition of Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments. They've got some proper old school tunes on there, but they're just remixing it to the story, man. It is dope.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
I'll give Hamilton a watch.
Yay! 5 out of 5
5
geeks for
geeks,
Rich.
Yeah.
It's pretty good that 5s in the show.
Yeah.
I know. Woo! Go ahead.
Cool. So, and yeah, I've been watching a bit of Avatar.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
I've still got quite a few episodes to go. I've also been rewatching Star Trek: The Next Generation as well. So I'm kind of watching.
Oh, and you just have to. Oh my god.
That's my Star Trek right now.
So and
the
both
best
of them
one.
are like 20. Well, Star Trek's 26 episodes a season, and Avatar's like 20.
Avatar is 20.
Yeah.
So I'm halfway.
Yeah.
I've just started season 3 of Star Trek, and I'm probably about halfway through Avatar.
Okay, nice.
Have you seen Storm yet?
Storm.
The flashback episode of Aang.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's okay.
That's when things get real.
Okay.
That's okay.
Hold on, Rich. Hold
You're
on.
doing well, Rich. You're doing well.
Good shit's coming.
It's not the film, okay? It's not
I actually
the film.
did watch a bit of that
Good
film
shit's
as well the
coming.
other day when I was teasing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what? Guys, when you're done, when you
film,
watch
the blue,
whole
the
of
one with
season
the blue characters in. Yeah.
No, we won't say the name.
I was gonna say, when you've watched the full season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, the full animated season, just season one.
Yeah.
Go and watch
The film.
Go and watch the live action and see how horrible
Don't do it.
that movie is.
Yeah, I kind of don't.
They tried to squeeze that whole season in that movie, and it's
Alright.
Terrifying. Oh god.
Okay. Alright.